weak. If any fear or scruple holds me back from settling things at once with that white quack!
Now, don't take a violent emotion. Your fathers merely talked about this notion, and words and deeds are far from being one. Much that is talked about is left undone.
No! I must stop that scoundrel's machinations. I'll go tell him off.
Do calm down and be practical. I had rather my mistress dealt with him and with your father. She has some influence with Tartuffe, I've noted. He hangs upon her words, seems most devoted, and may indeed be smitten by her charms. Pray heaven it's true. 'Twould do our cause no harm. She sent for him just now to sound him out on this affair you're so incensed about. She'll find out where he stands and tell him too what dreadful strife and trouble will ensue if he lends countenance to your father's plans. I couldn't get in to see him, but his man says he's almost finished with his prayers. Go now! I'll catch him when he comes downstairs.
I want to hear this talk, and I will.
No, they must be alone.
Oh, well, okay, still.
Not you. I know your temper. You start a brawl and shout and stamp your foot and spoil it all.
I won't. I have a perfect right.
Oh, Lord, your nuisance. He's coming. Get out of sight.
Hang up my hair shirt, put my scourge in place, and pray, Laurent, for heaven's perpetual grace. I'm going to prison now to share my last few coins with the poor wretches there.
Dear God, what affectation. What a fake.
You wish to see me?
Yes,
For mercy's sake! Please take this handkerchief before you speak.
What?
Cover that bosom, girl. The flesh is weak, and unclean thoughts are difficult to control. Such sights as that can undermine the soul!
Your soul, it seems, has very poor defenses, and flesh makes quite an impact on your senses. It's strange that you're so easily excited. My own desires are not so soon ignited. And if I saw you, naked as a beast, not all your hide would tempt me, in the least.
Girl, speak more modestly. Unless you do, I shall be forced to take my leave of you.
Oh no, it's I who must be on my way. I've just one little message to convey. Madame is coming down and begs you, sir, to wait and have a word or two with her.
Gladly.
That had a softening effect. I think my guess about him was correct.
Will she be long?
Oh no, that's her step I hear. Ah! Here she is. And I shall disappear.
May heaven, whose infinite goodness we adore, preserve your body and soul forevermore, and bless your days, and answer thus the plea of one who is its humblest votary.
I thank you for that pious wish, but please do take a chair and let's be more equal.
I trust that you are once more well and strong.
Oh yes, the fever didn't last for long.
My prayers are too unworthy, I am sure, to have gained from heaven this most gracious cure. But lately, madam, my every supplication has had for object your recuperation.
You shouldn't have troubled so. I don't deserve it.
Your health is priceless, madam, and to preserve it, I'd gladly give my own in all sincerity.
Sir, you outdo us all in Christian charity. You've been most kind. I count myself your debtor.
'Twas nothing, madam. I long to serve you better.
But there's a private matter that I'm anxious to discuss. I'm glad there's no one here to hinder us.
I too am glad. Indeed, it floods my heart with bliss to find myself alone with you like this. For just this chance I pray with all my power but prayed in vain until this happy hour.
This won't take long, sir, and I hope you'll be entirely frank and unconstrained with me.
Indeed, there's nothing I'd rather do than bare my inmost heart and soul to you. First, let me say that what remarks I've made about the constant visits you're paid were prompted not by any mean emotion, but rather by a pure and deep devotion, a fervency.
No need for explanation. Your sole concern, I'm sure, was my salvation.
And such great fervor do I feel for
No, please, you're pinching!
Oh, it's from excess of zeal. I swear, I'd rather...
What can your hand be doing there?
Feeling your gown. What soft, fine woven stuff.
Please, I'm extremely ticklish, that's enough.
Lovely lacework on your dress. I've not seen anything to equal.
Ah, yes, quite. Let's talk business for a bit. They say my husband needs to break his word and give his daughter to you, sir. Had you heard?
He did once mention it, but I confess, I dream of quite a different happiness. It's elsewhere, madam, that my eyes discern the promise of that bliss for which I yearn.
See, you care for nothing here below.
Ah, well, my heart's not made of stone, you know.
All your desires mount heavenward, I'm sure, in scorn of all that's earthly and impure.
A love of heavenly beauty does not preclude a proper love for earthly pulchritude. Our senses are quite rightly captivated by perfect works our Maker has created. Some glory clings to all that heaven has made in view. All heaven's marvels are displayed on that fair face. Such beauties have been lavished. The eyes are dazzled and the heart is ravished. How could I look on you, O flawless creature, and not adore the author of all nature, feeling a love both passionate and pure for you, his triumph of self-culture. At first, I trembled lest that love should be a subtle snare that hell had laid for me. I vowed to flee the sight of you, eschewing a rapture that might prove my soul's undoing. But soon, fair being, I became aware that my deep passion could be made to square with rectitude and with my bounden duty. I thereupon surrendered to your beauty. It is, I know, presumptuous on my part to bring you this poor offering of my heart, and it is not my merit, heaven knows, but your compassion on which my hopes repose. You are my peace, my solace, my salvation. On you depends my bliss or desolation. I bide your judgment, and as you think best, I shall be either miserable or blessed.
Your declaration is most gallant, sir, but don't you think it's a bit out of character? You'd have done better to restrain your passion and think before you spoke in such a fashion. It ill becomes a pious man like you.
I may be pious, but I'm human too. With your celestial tongue, I know such words sound strangely coming from me, but I'm no angel, nor was meant to be. And if you blame my passion, you must needs reproach as well the charms on which it feeds. Your loveliness I had no sooner seen than you became my soul's unrivaled queen. Before your seraph glance, divinely sweet, my heart's defenses crumbled in defeat, and nothing fasting prayers or tears might do could stay my spirit from adoring you. My eyes, my sighs have told you in the past what now my lips make bold to say. At last, and if in your great goodness you will deign to look upon your slave and ease his pain, if in compassion for my soul's distress you will stoop to comfort my unworthiness, I'll raise to you, in thanks for that sweet manna, an endless hymn, an infinite Hosanna. With me, of course, there need be no anxiety, no fear of scandal or of notoriety. These young court gallants whom all the ladies fancy are vain in speech and action, rash and chancy. When they succeed in love, the world soon knows it. No favor is granted them, but they disclose it, and by the looseness of their tongues, profane the very altars where their hearts have laid. Men of my sort, however, love discreetly, and one may trust our reticence completely. My keen concern for my good name ensures the absolute security of yours. In short, I offer you, my dear Elmire, love without scandal, pleasure without fear.
I've heard your well-turned speeches to the end, and what you urge I clearly apprehend. Aren't you afraid I may take notion to tell my husband of your warm devotion? And that supposing he were duly told, his feelings toward you might grow rather cold.
I know, dear lady, that your exceeding charity will lead your heart to pardon my temerity, that you'll excuse my violent affection as human weakness, human imperfection, and that, oh, fairest, you will bear in mind that I am but flesh and blood, and am not blind.
Some women might do otherwise, perhaps, but I shall be discreet about your lapse. I'll tell my husband nothing of what's occurred if, in return, you give your solemn word to advocate as forcefully as you can the marriage of Valere and Marianne, renouncing all desire to dispossess another of his rightful happiness, and—
No! Will not hush up that vile affair. I heard it all. Inside that closet there. Where Heaven, in order to confound the pride of this great rascal, prompted me to hide. Ha! At last I have my long-awaited chance to punish his deceit and arrogance, and give my father clear and shocking proof of the black character of his dear Tartuffe.
Damis, I'll be content if he will study to deserve my leniency. Promise silence, don't make me break my word. To make a scandal would be too absurd. Good wives laugh off such trifles and forget them. Why should they tell their husbands and upset them?
You have your reasons for taking such a course, and I have reasons too, of equal force. To spare me now would be insanely wrong. I have swallowed my just wrath for far too long, and watched this insolent prince strife and bitterness into our family life. Too long he's meddled in my father's affairs, thwarting my marriage hopes. And poor Valere's. It's high time my father was undeceived. And now I have proof that can't be disbelieved. Proof that was furnished to me by heaven above. It's too good not to take advantage of. This is my chance, and I deserve to lose it if for one moment I hesitate to use it.
Please.
No, I must do what I think right. Now, my heart is bursting with delight, and say what you will, I will not consent to lose this sweet revenge on which I bent. I'll settle matters without more ado. And here, most opportunely, is my cue. Father! I am glad you joined us. Let us inform you of some fresh news which doubtless will surprise you. You've just now been repaid with interest for all your loving kindness to our guest. He's proved his warm, grateful feelings towards you. It's with a pair of thorns that he will reward you. Yes, I surprised him with your wife and heard his whole adulterous offer, every word, she, with her altered gentle disposition, would not have told you of this proposition. But I shall not make terms with brazen lechery. Can it be true? These dreadful things I hear?
Yes, brother. I am a wicked man, I fear. A wretched sinner, all depraved and twisted, the greatest villain that has ever existed. My life is one heap of crimes which grows each minute. There's naught but foulness and corruption in it, and I perceive that heaven, outraged by me, has chosen this occasion to mortify me. Charge me with any deed you wish to name. I'll not defend myself. I'll take the blame. Believe what you are told, and drive Tartuffe like some base criminal from beneath your roof. Yes, drive me hence. And with a parting curse, I shan't protest, for I deserve far worse.
Oh, you deceitful boy! How dare you try to stain his purity with so foul a lie?
Are you taking it by such a bluff? Did you not?
Enough, you rogue, enough!
Oh, let me see, you are being unjust. Believe his story, the boy deserves your trust. Why, after all, should you have faith in me? How could you know what I might do or be? Is it on my good actions that you base your favor? Do you trust my pious face? No. Don't be deceived by hollow shows. I am far, alas, from being what men suppose. Though the world takes me for a man of worth, I am truly the most worthless man on earth. Yes, my dear son, speak out now. Call me the chief of sinners, a wretch, a murderer, a thief. Load me with all the names men most abhor. I'll not complain. I've earned them all, and more. I'll kneel here while you pour them on my head as just punishment for the life I've led.
Oh, brother! This is too much! Have you no heart?
Are you so hoodwinked by this rascal's art?
Be still, monster! I pray you, brother, rise. Silence! One word more, and I'll tear you limb from limb.
Oh, in God's name! Brother, don't be harsh with him. I'd rather far be tortured at the stake than see him bear one scratch for my poor sake.
Ha! Enraged!
I must beg you on bended knee to pardon him.
Oh, such goodness cannot be. Now there is true charity.
What? You
Villain, be still. I know your motives. I know you wish him ill. Yes, you, wife, children, servants, all conspire against him and desire his fall, employing every shameful trick you can to alienate me from this saintly man. But the more you seek to drive him away, the more I'll do to keep him. Today, without delay, I'll spite this household and confound his pride by giving him my daughter as his bride.
You're going to force her to accept his hand?
Yes, and this very night, do you understand? I shall defy you all and make it clear that I'm the one that gives the orders here. Come, wretch. Kneel down and clasp his blessed feet and ask his pardon for your black deceit.
I ask that swindler's pardon? Why I
So you insult him and defy your father? A stick! A stick! No, Rolling Spingo! Out of my house this minute. Be off with you and never dare set foot in it again.
Well, I shall go, but
Well, go quickly then. I disinherit you. An empty purse is all you'll get from me. Accept my curse.
blasphemed your goodness.
What a son!
Forgive him, Lord, as I have already done. You can't know how it hurts when someone tries to blacken me in my dear brother's eyes. The mere thought of such ingratitude plunges my soul into so dark a mood. Such horror grips my heart. I gasp for breath and cannot speak and feel myself near death.
Oh, you blackguard! Why did I spare you? Why did I not take you into little pieces on the spot? Compose yourself and don't be hurt, dear friend.
These scenes, these dreadful quarrels have got to end.
I've much upset your household, and I perceive that the best thing will be for me to leave.
What do you say?
They're all against me here. They'd have you think me false and insincere.
Oh, what of that? Have I ceased in believing you?
Their adverse talk will certainly continue, and charges which you now repudiate you may find credible at a later date.
Oh, brother, never.
Oh, brother! A wife can sway her husband's mind in many a subtle way.
No!
Believe at once is the solution. Thus only can I end their persecution. Oh.
You shall remain.
Well, 'twill mean much martyrdom and pain, but if you will. Enough! So be it. But one thing must be settled as I see it. For your dear honor, and for our friendship's sake, there's one precaution I feel bound to take. I shall avoid your wife and keep away.
No! You shall not! Whatever they may say, it pleases me to vex them, and for spite I'd have them see you with her day and night. What's more, I'm going to drive them to despair by making you my only son and heir. This very day I'll give to you a long, clear deed entitled to everything I own. Oh, dear, good friend and son-in-law to be is more than wife or son or kin to me. Will you accept my offer, dearest son?
In all things, let the will of heaven be done.
Poor fellow. Come! We'll go draw up the deed. And then watch them burst with disappointed greed.
Yes, all the town's discussing it, and truly their comments do not flatter you unduly. Oh, I'm glad we've met, sir, and will give my views on this sad matter in a word or two. As for who's guilty, that I shan't discuss. Let's say it was Damis who caused the fuss, assuming then that you have been ill-used by young Damis and groundlessly accused. Ought not a Christian to forgive? And ought he not to stifle every vengeful thought? Should you stand by and watch a father make his only son an exile for your sake? No. Sacrifice your wrath to God above and help Damis regain his father's love.
Alas, for my part, I should take great joy in doing so. I've nothing against the boy. I pardon all. I harbor no resentment. to serve him would afford me much contentment. But heaven's interest will not have it so. If he comes back, then I shall have to go. After his conduct, so extreme, so vicious, our further intercourse would look suspicious. God knows what people would think. Why, they'd describe my goodness to him as a sort of bribe. They'd say that out of guilt I made pretense of loving kindness and benevolence, that fearing my accuser's tongue, I strove to buy his silence with a show of love.
Your reasoning is badly warped and stretched, and these excuses, sir, are most far-fetched. Leave vengeance to the Lord, sir. While we live, our duty is not to punish, but to forgive.
Again, sir, let me say that I've forgiven Damis, and thus obeyed the laws of heaven, but I am not commanded by the Bible to live with one who smears my name with libel.
Were you commanded, sir, to indulge the whim of poor Orgon, and encourage him in suddenly transferring to your name a large estate to which you have no claim?
It would never occur to those who know me best to think that I acted from self-interest. The treasures of this world I quite despise. Their specious glitter does not charm my eyes, and if I have resigned myself to taking the gift which my dear brother insists on making, I do so only, as he well understands, lest so much wealth fall into wicked hands, lest those to whom it might descend in time turn it to purposes of sin and crime, and not, as I shall do, make use of it for heaven's glory and mankind's benefit.
Forget these trunks of fears. Your argument is one that the rightful heir might well resent. It is a moral burden to inherit such wealth, but give Damis a chance to bear it. Does true religion teach that lawful heirs may freely be deprived of what is rightfully theirs? And if the Lord has told you in your heart that you and young Damis must dwell apart, would it not be the decent thing to be? A noble and honorable retreat, rather than let the son of the house be sent for your convenience into banishment. Sir, if you wish to prove the honesty of your intentions...
Sir, it is 3:30, and I've certain pious duties to attend to, and hope my prompt departure won't offend you. Et nomine Patris, Filii, et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.
Damn! Stay, sir, and help Marianne for heaven's sakes. She's suffering so I fear her heart will break. Her father's plan to marry her off tonight has put the poor child in a desperate plight. I see him coming. Let's stand together now and see if we can't change his mind somehow about this match we all deplore and fear.
Oh! Glad to find you all assembled here. This contract, child, contains your happiness, and what it says, I think your heart can guess.
Sir, by that heaven which sees me here distressed, and by whatever else can move your breast, do not employ a father's power, I pray you, to crush my heart and force it to obey you. Nor by your harsh commands oppress me so that I'll begrudge the duty that I owe. Do not so embitter and enslave me that I shall hate the very life you gave me. If my sweet hopes must perish, if you refuse to give me the one I've dared to choose, spare me at least, I beg you, I implore, the pain of wedding one whom I abhor. And do not, by some heartless use of force, drive me to contemplate some desperate course.
Be firm, my soul! No human weakness now.
I don't resent your love for him. Allow your heart free rein, sir. Give him your property, and if that's not enough, take mine from me. He's welcome to my money. Take it, do. But don't, I pray, include my person too. Spare me, I beg you, and let me end the tale of my sad days behind a convent veil.
A convent? When crossed in their amours, all lovesick girls have the same thoughts as yours. Get up! The more you loathe the man and dread him, the more ennobling it will be to wed him. Marry Tartuffe and mortify your flesh. Oh, enough! Don't start that whimpering afresh.
And why should
Be still there! Speak when you're spoken to, not one more bit of impudence out of you.
And if I may offer a word of counsel.
Brother, in counseling you have no peer. All your advice is forceful, sound, and clever. I don't propose to follow it, however.
I am amazed and don't know what to say. Your blindness simply takes my breath away. You are indeed bewitched to take no warning from our account of what occurred this morning.
I know a few plain facts, madam, and one is that you are partial to my rascal son. Hence, when he sought to make Tartuffe the victim of a base lie, you dared not contradict him. Oh, but you underplayed your part, my pet. You should have looked more angry, more upset.
When men make overtures, must we reply with righteous anger and a battle cry? Must we turn back their amorous advances with sharp reproaches and fiery glances? I found that a polite and cool rebuff discourages a lover quite enough.
I know the facts, madam, and shall not be shaken.
I marvel at your power to be mistaken. Would it, I wonder, carry weight with you if I could show you that our tale was true?
Show me?
Yes.
Rot.
Come, what if I found a way to make you see the facts as plain as day?
Nonsense.
Do answer me, don't be absurd. I'm not asking you now to trust our word. Suppose that from some hiding place in here, you learned the whole sad truth by I am here. What would you say of your good friend after that?
Why, I'd say nothing, by Jehoshaphat, it can't be true.
You've been too long deceived, and I am quite tired of being disbelieved. Come, let's put my statements to the test, and you shall see the truth made manifest.
I'll take that challenge. Now do your uttermost. We'll see how you make good your empty boast.
Send him to me.
He's crafty. It may be hard to catch the cunning scoundrel off his guard.
No, amorous men are gullible. Their conceit so blinds them that they're never hard to cheat. Have him come in. Please leave us for a bit. Pull up this cloth and get under it.
What?
It's essential that you be well hidden.
Why there?
Oh heavens, just do as you're bidden. I have my plans. We'll soon see how they fare. To the table now, and once you're there, take care that you are neither seen nor heard.
Well, I'll indulge you since I gave my word to see you through this infantile charade.
Once it's over, you'll be gladly played. I'm going to act quite strangely now, and you must not be shocked at anything I do. Whatever I may say, you must excuse as part of the deceit that I'm forced to use. I shall employ sweet speeches in the task of making that impostor drop his mask. I'll give encouragement to his bold desires and furnish fuel to his amorous fires. Since it's for your sake and for his destruction that I shall seem to yield to his seduction, I'll gladly stop whenever you decide that all your doubts are fully satisfied. I'll count on you as soon as you have seen what sort of a man he is to intervene. Not expose me to his odious lust one moment longer than you feel you must. Remember, you're to save me from my plight. Whenever. He's coming. Hush, keep absent.
You wish to have a word with me, I'm told?
Yes. I have a little secret to unfold. Before I speak, however, it would be wise to close the door and look about for spies. The very last thing that must happen now is a repetition of this morning's row. I've never been so badly caught off guard. Oh, how I feared for you. You saw how hard I tried to make that troublesome Damis control his temper and hold his peace. In my confusion, I didn't have the sense simply to contradict his evidence. But, as it happened, it was for the best, and all has worked out in our interest. This storm has only bettered your position. My husband doesn't have the least suspicion. And now, in mockery of those who do, he bids me be continually with you. And that is why, quite fearless of reproof, I can now be alone with my Tartuffe. And why my heart, perhaps too quick to yield, feels free to let its passion be revealed.
Madam, your words confuse me. Not long ago, you spoke in quite a different style, you know?
Oh! Sir, if that refusal made you smart, it's little that you know of a woman's heart, or what the heart is trying to convey when it resists in such a feeble way. Always at first, our modesty prevents the frank avowal of tender sentiments. However high the passion which inflames us, still, to confess its power somehow shames us. Thus, we reluct at first, yet in a tone which tells you that our heart is overthrown, that what our lips deny, our pulse confesses, and that in time, all no's will turn to yeses. I fear my words are all too frank and free and a full proof of a woman's modesty. But since I'm starting, tell me, if you will, would I have tried to make Damis be still? Would I have listened, calm and unoffended, until your lengthy offer of love was ended, and been so very mild in my reaction, and not your sweet words given me satisfaction? And when I tried to force you to undo the marriage plans my husband has in view, what did my urgent pleading signify if not that I admired you, and that I deplored the thought that someone else might own part of a heart I wish for mine alone?
Madam, no happiness is so complete as when from lips we love come words so sweet. Their nectar floods my every sense and drains in honeyed rivulets all my veins. To please you is my only goal. Your love is the restorer of my soul. And yet, I must beg leave now to confess some lingering doubts as to my happiness. Might this not be a trick? Might not the catch be that you wish me to break off the match with Marianne, and so have feigned to love me? I shan't quite trust your fond opinion of me until the feelings you've expressed so sweetly are demonstrated somewhat more concretely, and that you have shown by certain kind concessions that I may put my faith in your profession.
Why be in such a hurry? Must my heart exhaust its bounty at the very start?
We trust no promised bliss till we receive it. Not till a joy is ours can we believe it. I, who so little merit your esteem, can't credit this fulfillment of my dream, and shan't believe it, madam, until I savor some palpable assurance of your favor.
My, how tyrannical your love can be! How it flusters and perplexes me! How furiously you take one's heart in hand and make your every wish a fierce command! God, must you hound and harry me to death? Will you give me no time to catch my breath?
Well, if you look with favor upon my love, of that sort need obstruct our
How
path.
must one not be afraid of heaven's wrath?
Madam, forget such fears, and be my pupil, and I shall show you how to conquer scruple. Sometimes it's true, our law in heaven's eyes, yet heaven is not averse to compromise. There is a science lately formulated whereby one's conscience may be liberated, and any wrongful act you care to mention may be redeemed by purity of intention. I'll teach you, madam, the secrets of that science. Meanwhile, just place on me your full reliance. Assuage my keen desires and feel no the sin, if any, shall be on my head. You've a bad cough.
Yes, it's bad indeed.
A bit of licorice may be what you need.
No, I have a stubborn cold, it seems. I'm sure it will take much more than licorice to cure it.
How aggravating.
More than I can say.
If you're still troubled, think of things this way. No one shall know our joys, save us alone, and there's no evil till the act is known. It's scandal, madam, which makes it an offense, and it's no sin to sin in confidence.
Well, clearly, I must do as you require, and yield to your importunate desire. It's apparent now that nothing less will satisfy you, and so I acquiesce. To go so far is much against my will. I'm vexed that it should come to this. But still, since you are so determined on it, since you will not allow mere language to convince you, and since you require concrete evidence, I see nothing for it now but to comply. If this is sinful, if I'm wrong to do it, so much the worse for him who drove me to it. The fault can surely not be charged to me.
Madam, the fault is mine, if fault there be, and if you...
Open the door a little and peek out. I wouldn't want my husband poking about.
Why worry about the man? Each day he grows more gullible. One can lead him by the nose. To find us here would fill him with delight, and if he saw the worst, he'd doubt his sight.
Nevertheless, do step out into the hall for a minute and see that there's no one in it.
That man is a perfect monster, I must admit. I'm simply stunned. I can't get over it.
What? Coming out so soon? How premature. Oh, get back in hiding and wait till you're sure. Stay till the end and be convinced completely. We mustn't stop until things are proved concretely.
Hell never harbored anything so vicious.
John, don't be hasty. Try to be judicious. Wait and be certain there's no mistake. No jumping to conclusions, for heaven's sake.
Madam, all things have worked out to perfection. I've given neighboring rooms a full inspection. No one is about, and now I'm made at last.
Hold on, my passionate now! Not so fast! I should advise a little more restraint. So, you thought you'd fool me, my dear? Saying to how soon you wearied of the saintly life, wedding my daughter and coveting my wife. Oh, I've long suspected you. I had a feeling that I'd soon catch you at your double dealing. Just now you've given me evidence galore. Oh, it's quite enough. I have no need for more.
Sorry to have treated you so slyly, but circumstances forced me to be wily.
Brother, can't you think that...
No more talk from you. Just leave my house without any more ado.
What I intended was never...
That seems fairly clear. Spare me your falsehoods and get out of here.
No. I'm the master, and you're the one to go. This house belongs to me, I'll have you know, and I shall show you that you can't hurt me by this contemptible conspiracy, that those who cross me know not what they do, and that I have means to expose and punish you, avenge offended heaven, and make you grieve that you ever dared order me to leave.
Dear God, I'm worried. This is no laughing matter. I fear I understood his drift. I'm much disturbed about that deed of gift.
You gave it?
Yes! It's all been drawn and signed. Oh, but one thing more is weighing on my mind.
What's that?
I'll tell you. But first, let's see if there's a certain strong box in his room upstairs. Oh.
Going so fast.
God knows!
Then wait, let's have a conference and deliberate on how our situation is to be
Oh,
met.
that strong box has me utterly upset. This is the worst of many, many shocks.
Is there some fearful mystery in that box?
My poor friend Argus brought that box to me with his own hands in utmost secrecy. 'Twas on the very morning of his flight. It's full of papers which, if they came to light, would ruin him, or such is my impression.
Then why did you let it out of your possession?
Those papers vex my conscience, and I found it best to ask the counsel of my pious guest. Oh, the cunning scoundrel got me to agree to leave the strong box in his custody, so that, in case of an investigation, I could employ a slight equivocation and swear I didn't have it, and thereby, at no expense to conscience, to tell a lie.
It looks to me as if you're out on the limb. Trusting him with that strong box and offering him that deed of gift were actions of a kind which scarcely indicate a prudent mind.
Just think of it behind that fervent face! A heart so wicked and a soul so base, so I took him in, a hungry beggar, and then... Enough! By God, I'm through with pious men! From henceforth, I'll hate the whole false brotherhood and persecute them worse than Satan could.
Oh, there you go. Extravagant as ever. Why can you not be rational? You never manage to take the middle course, it seems, but jump instead between absurd extremes. You've recognized your recent grave mistake in falling victim to a pious faith. And now to correct that error, must you embrace an even greater error in its place, and judge our worthy neighbors as a whole by what you've learned of one corrupted soul.
I hear that scoundrel's utter threats against you, that he privately forgets how, in his need, he was befriended by you, and means to use your gifts to crucify you.
It's true, my boy. I'm too distressed for tears.
Leave it to me, sir. Let me trim his ears. Faced with such insolence, we must not wait. I shall do you the pleasure, sir, of cutting short his life and your distress.
What a display of young hot-headedness. Do learn to control your fits of rage. In this just kingdom, this enlightened age, one does not settle things by violence.
I guess what you take a very strange event.
Yes! Strange events which these two eyes beheld. The man's ingratitude is unparalleled. I saved a wretched pauper from starvation, house him, treat him like a blood relation, shower him every day with my largesse, give him my daughter and all that I possess, and meanwhile the unconscionable knave tries to induce my wife to misbehave, and not content with such extreme rascality, now threatens me with my own liberality and aims by taking base advantage of the gifts I gave him as Christian love to drive me from my home, a ruined man, and make me end a pauper as he began.
Poor fellow! No, my son, I'll never bring myself to think you guilty of such a thing.
How's that?
The righteous always were maligned.
Speak clearly, mother. Say what's on your mind.
I mean that I can smell a rat.
Oh!
Know how everybody hates him here?
That has no bearing on the case at all.
100 times small, that virtue in this world is hated ever.
Malicious men may die, but malice never. No doubt that's true, but how does it apply?
They turned you against him by a clever lie.
Mother, I told you I was there and saw it done.
Slanderers will stop at nothing, son.
Mother, I'll lose my temper. For the last time, I tell you, I was witness to the crime.
The tongues of spite are busy night and noon. To their venom no man is immune.
You're talking nonsense. When will you realize I saw it? Saw it. Saw, do you understand me? Saw it with my eyes.
Appearances can deceive, my son. Dear me, we cannot always judge by what we see.
Drat!
One often interprets things awry. Good can seem evil to a suspicious eye.
Oh, was I to see his pawing at Elmire as an act of charity?
Until his guilt is clear, a man deserves the benefit of the doubt. You should have waited to see how things turned out.
Great God in heaven! Was I to sit there, watching, waiting until he... You drive me to the brink of impropriety!
No! A man of such surpassing piety could not do such a thing. You cannot shake me. I don't believe it, and you shall not make me.
You vex me so that if you weren't my mother, I'd say to you some dreadful thing or other.
It's your turn now, sir, not to be listened to. You'd not trust us, and now she won't trust you.
My friends, we are wasting time which should be spent in facing up to our predicament. I fear that scoundrel's threats weren't made in sport.
Do you think you have the nerve to go to court?
I'm sure he won't. They find it all too crude. A case of swindling and ingratitude.
Don't be too sure. He won't be at a loss to give his claims a high and righteous gloss. And clever rogues with far less valid cause have trapped their victims in a web of laws. Again, sir, I say to threaten a man so strongly armed was most unwise.
I know it! But the man's appalling cheek outraged me so I couldn't control my pique.
I wish to heaven that we could devise some truce between you or compromise.
If I'd known what cards he held, I'd not have roused his anger with my little plot.
What is that fellow doing there? Oh, go talk to him and tell him I'm busy.
Good day, dear sister. Kindly let me see your master.
He's involved with company and cannot be disturbed just now.
I hate to intrude, but what has brought me here will not disturb your master in any event. Indeed, My news will make him most content.
Your name?
Just say I bring greetings from Monsieur Tartuffe, on whose behalf I've come.
Sir, he's a very gracious man and bears a message from Tartuffe, which he declares will make you most content.
Upon my word, I think this man had best be seen and heard.
Perhaps he has some settlement to suggest. How shall I treat him? What man would be best?
Control your anger, and if you should mention some fair adjustment, give him your full attention.
Good health to you, good sir. May heaven confound your enemies, and may your joys abound.
A gentle salutation! It confirms my guest that he is here to offer terms.
I've always held your family most dear. I served your father, sir, for many a year.
Oh, sir, I must ask your pardon. To my shame, I cannot now recall your face or name.
Loyal's my name. I come from Normandy, and I'm a bailiff in all modesty. For 40 years, praise God, it's been my boast to serve with honor in that vital post. And I am here, sir, if you will permit the liberty to serve you with this writ.
What's
Now, please, sir, let us have no friction. It's nothing but an order of eviction. You are to move your goods and family out and make way for new occupants without deferment or delay. And give the key.
I leave this house?
Why, yes, sir, if you please. This house, sir, from the cellar to the roof, belongs now to the good Monsieur Tartuffe. And he is lord and master of your estate by virtue of a deed of present date, drawn in due form with clearest legal phrasing.
Your insolence is utterly amazing!
Young man, my business here is not with you, but with your wise and temperate father, who, like every worthy citizen, stands in awe of justice and would never obstruct the law.
But
not for a million, sir, would you rebel against authority. I know that well. You'll not make trouble, sir, or interfere with the execution of my duties here.
Someone may execute a smart tattoo on that black jacket of yours before your throat.
Sir, bid your son be silent. I'd much regret having to mention such a nasty threat of violence in writing my report.
This man Loyal's the most disloyal sort.
I love all men of upright character, and when I agreed to serve these papers, sir, it was your feelings that I had in mind. I couldn't bear to see the case assigned to someone else who might esteem you less, and so subject you to unpleasantness.
What's more unpleasant than telling a man to leave his house and home?
You'd like a short reprieve. If you desire it, sir, I shall not press you, but wait until tomorrow to dispossess you. Splendid! I'll come and spend the night here, most quietly with half a score of men. For form's sake, you might bring me, just before you go to bed, the keys to the front door. My men, I promise, will be on their best behavior and will not disturb your rest. But bright and early, sir, you must be quick and move out all your furniture. Every stick. The men I've chosen are both young and strong. With their help, it shouldn't take you long. In short, I'll make things pleasant and convenient. And since I'm being so extremely lenient, please show me, sir, a light consideration and give me your entire cooperation.
I may be all but bankrupt, but I vow I'd give 100 louis here and now just for the pleasure of landing one good clout right on the end of that complacent snout.
Careful! Things worse. Might be so itches to give that beggar good kick in the breeches.
Monsieur Loyal! I
frightening language to obey.
Enough! Enough, sir! This must not go on. Give me that paper, sir, and then be gone.
Well, au revoir. God give you all good cheer.
May God confound you and him who sent you here! Well, Mother, was I right or not? This wretch should change your notion of Tartuffe a bit. Do you perceive his villainy at last?
I'm thunderstruck. I'm utterly aghast.
Oh, come! You mustn't take offense at this new proof of his benevolence. He's acting out of selfless love, I know. Material things enslave the soul, and so he kindly has arranged your liberation from all that might endanger your salvation.
Will you not ever hold your tongue, you dunce?
Come, you must take some action, and at once.
Don't tell the world of the low trick he's tried. The deed of gift is surely nullified by such behavior, and public rage will not allow him to carry out his bond.
Sir, though I hate to bring you more bad news, such is the danger that I cannot go. Extremely close to me, and who knows my interest in your family, has, for my sake, presumed to violate the secrecy which is the things of state, and sends word that you are in a plight from which your one salvation lies in flight. That scoundrel who's imposed upon you so denounced you to the king an hour ago, and as supporting evidence displayed the strong box of a certain renegade whose secret papers, so he testified, you had disloyally agreed to hire. Some unuseful charges to be pressed, but there's a warrant out for your arrest. Tartuffe has been instructed, furthermore, to guide the arresting officer to your door.
He's clearly done this to facilitate his seizure of your house and estate.
That man, I must say, is a vicious beast!
Quick, sir, you mustn't tarry in the least. My carriage is outside to take you hence. This 1,000 louis should cover all expense. Let's lose no time, or you shall be undone. The sole defense in this case is to run. I shall take you all the way and place you in a safe refuge to which they'll never trace you.
Alas, my boy, I wish I could show you my gratitude for everything I owe you, but now is not the time. I pray the Lord I may live to give you your reward. Be careful, dears.
Brother,
Always.
hurry! We'll take care of things here. You needed work.
Gently, sir! Gently! Stay right where you are. No need for haste. Your lodging isn't far. You're off to prison by order of the prince.
This is the crowning blow, you wretch! And since it means my total ruin and defeat, your villainy is now at last complete.
You needn't try to provoke me. It's no use. Those who serve heaven must expect abuse.
You are indeed most sweet, patient, and blameless.
How he exploits the very name of heaven. It's shameless.
Your taunts and mockeries are all for naught. To do my duty is my only thought.
Your love of duty is most meritorious. And what you've done is little short of glorious.
All deeds are glorious, madam, which obey the sovereign prince who sent me here today.
I saved you when you were destitute. Have you forgotten that, you thankless brute?
No, I well remember everything, but my first duty is to serve my king. That obligation is so paramount that other claims beside it do not count, and for it I would sacrifice my wife, my family, my friend, or my own life.
Hypocrite! All that we most revere he uses to cloak his plots and camouflage his ruses.
If it is true that you are animated by a pure and loyal zeal, as you have stated, why was this zeal not roused until you had been caught? And why were you not moved to provide your evidence until your outraged host had driven you hence?
Yeah!
I shan't say that the gift of all his treasure ought to have dampened your zeal in any measure. But if Orgon is a traitor, as you declare, how can you condescend to be his heir?
Spare me all this clamor. It's growing shrill. Please, can
just the proper person to remind me. Come, you are off to join the other boarders in the king's prison, according to his orders.
Who?
I, sir?
Yes.
To prison? This can't be true.
I owe an explanation, but not to you. Sir, all is well. Rest easy and be grateful. We serve a prince to whom all sham is hateful, a prince who sees into our inmost hearts and can't be fooled by any trickster's arts. His royal soul, though generous and human, views all things with discernment and acumen. His sovereign reason is not lightly swayed, and all his judgments are discreetly weighed. He honors righteous men of every kind, and yet his zeal for virtue is not blind, nor does his love of piety numb his wits and make him tolerant of hypocrites. 'Twas hardly likely that this man could cozen a king who spoiled such liars by the dozen. With one keen glance, the king soon perceived the whole perverseness and corruption of his soul, and thus, by heaven's justice was displayed. Betraying you, the rogue stood self-betrayed. The king soon recognized Tartuffe as one notorious by another name, who done so many vicious crimes that one could fill 10 volumes and be writing still. But to be brief, our sovereign was appalled by this man's treachery towards you, which he called the last worst villainy of a vile career, and bade me follow the impostor here to see how gross his impudence could be and force him to restore your property. Your private papers, by the king's command, I hereby seize and give into your hand. The king, by royal order, invalidates the deed which gave this rascal your estates, and pardons, furthermore, your grave offense in harboring an exile's documents. By these decrees, the prince rewards you for your loyal deeds in the late Civil War, and shows how heartfelt is his satisfaction in recompensing any worthy action, how much he prizes merit, and how he makes more of men's virtues than of their mistakes. Heaven be praised! I believe the gun is last! Same! I can't believe the day was last!
Well, traitor! Now you see how...
Brother! Please, let's not descend to such indignities. Leave the poor wretch to his unhappy fate. And don't say anything to aggravate his present woes, but hope that he will soon embrace an honest piety and mend his ways. By a true repentance move our just king to moderate his sentence. In the meanwhile, go kneel before your sovereign's throne and thank him for the mercies he's shown.
That's well said. Let's go at once, and gladly kneeling express the gratitude which all are feeling. And then, when that first great duty is done, we'll turn with joy to a second one. And give Valere, whose love has proven so true, the wedded happiness which is his due.